Hi, back again. This is the reading on Cynthia Nixon. Now, before I get into that, two interesting snippets came out. One is that Nikki Haley might go for the presidency in 2020. Those of you who have seen my video, I think it was called Girl Scout with an Uzi or something, I thought she wanted to do it. Interesting. So she might well make a run. I hope she doesn't, because I think she could do quite well. The other bit of news was Kamala Harris might run in 2020, which I also predicted when I did her reading. I think she's probably less certain to run. She's more aware of what it would be like. I think we'll have to wait and see what happens with Kamala Harris. All right, but today, Cynthia Nixon. Now, dear viewers, as we've said in the comments section of various videos, we'd really like it if celebs stopped running for political roles. Thank you, celebs. However, in fairness to Cynthia Nixon, I think her political interests predate being a celebrity. She does know New York really well. And so I don't know much else about her. So I'm going to do a Celtic cross on Cynthia Nixon. What's likely to happen for Cynthia? All right. Cynthia Nixon, Miranda, what's happening? Odd card in the centre, given her public profile, the Hermit. So to make sense of that, I will have to look at other cards. Right? Because at the moment, she's being very public, more public than she's been. So perhaps that's suggesting she has actually got a more private nature, but is now in the public eye. So the essence of this reading is the Tower. Curiouser and curiouser. Okay, so does this mean Trump Tower opening the way for a clearing out of politics in New York? Could be. What is her cross to bear, or the obstacle to this? The Queen of Cups. So the Queen of the emotions here. So it could be, if she has a private nature and she is emotionally very mature as the Queen of Cups, but there could be some emotional complications for her around this and around the Tower. The Tower, in terms of someone going into politics for the first time in a big and public way, could also be the character assassination that goes on with that role, and that could affect her emotionally. That's entirely possible as an interpretation of the Tower as well. Underneath the Six of Wands, yeah, she has the energy and the drive and the will. Six is also, she's not there yet, right? So it means she's put in a lot of work, but she hasn't got to the stage where it's irrevocable. She could pull out and no one would think the worst of her. I think she's just beginning to appreciate some of the emotional complexity of the role. I just have a feeling with this that she's beginning to have second thoughts. Okay. In the recent past, yes, the Seven of Wands. High motivation, there's no doubt about that, but a bit of argy-bargy, a bit of push and pull. Some people in her circle are backing her all the way. Some are warning her not to go there. And she, as the central one, has had to make this decision herself. And she's made it as far as she's announced that she's coming out in this role. But I just don't think it's a done deal yet. Over the top of her reading Temperance, she would be a steadying hand. She's bright, she understands complexity, she has a sophisticated understanding of what's going on. So what she brings to the table that's very positive is the ability to bring people together. Temperance also represents integration. So she can bring together different classes of New Yorkers. She can talk to working class, middle class and upper class New Yorkers. And she does. So I think that's a great card for her if she goes forward. In the near future, yes, she has to make the final decision. She's at the crossroads, the Two of Swords. She has to either bite the bullet and go ahead or say, thank you for the support I've had. I'll continue to work for the betterment of New York behind the scenes. She hasn't made that final decision yet. That makes total sense to me. How does she see herself? The King of Wands. That's really interesting too. The King of Wands, in its better interpretations, or not interpretations, better meanings, is someone who goes to bat for the people, which is exactly what I was saying with Temperance. She has the strength and the resources with these Wands cards. She's got good, strong Wands cards. To actually do a good job, she has the strength of character and she has the strength of morality in a good way. I don't mean morality in terms of who's sleeping with who and what's happening in the bedroom, a deeper morality about what's happening. So that's a further strength she brings to the table. It's time in the sense of Wheel of Fortune. So for Cynthia as an individual, she is rolling the dice, she is making this decision. So this reinforces my overall takeaway message, which is she's announced she's a player, but she hasn't made the final sign-off on that commitment. Not because she's wishy-washy, it's the opposite of that. She wants to be sure she can continue to be the King of Wands and advocate for New York without being assassinated by these ghastly people. I don't mean literally, I mean character assassination. So the Wheel of Fortune, she hasn't decided yet. It's up in the air. The atmosphere of this reading, the Eight of Swords. So yes, I think she has had a bit of a shock. She went in, I think, with the usual celeb advantage, which is if you're as well known as she is, you can easily get interviews in high-powered places and you can get your opinion out there and so forth. But I think she's a bit wary, and that's a healthy sign, of all the swords that are involved. So with this eights also in terms of Chinese numerology and stuff, they're very strong, they're very optimistic, it's very healthy. So I think her concern for the daggers that will come her way is a healthy concern. So she shouldn't just brush it off and go, it's okay, it's okay. She really, really has to think whether she wants to go down this road. And you know what? It might not be in her best interests. Sorry, Cynthia, Three of Swords, broken heart, stabbed in the heart. I felt a hesitation throughout this. I'm not sure it's the best move she could possibly make. I'm going to draw another card here. The World. Yeah, she has a lot to offer the world, as well as New York, but in terms of gender stuff, in terms of her understanding of politics, she might well be better off to be a player. She has the profile to actually get interviews internationally as well. I think people think they're setting out to interview Miranda, and that's not, of course, the case. So my advice, if she came to me, would be, hun, give it a miss. So there we have it. Good luck, Cynthia. It's your call. But if you're asking me as an auntie, I'd be going, run, run. Okay, see you real soon. Bye.